All right. Hello there, friends. I'm just hoping somebody will join me today. Just kind of yesterday, my last minute thought. I actually wanted to start coming to you every Friday to have something to show you and, kind of so we could chat. Let's just give everybody maybe 1 or 2 minutes to make sure people are showing up. I think I see Chris joined. So that's awesome. And we will go ahead and start. So today I actually wanted to chat with you about some new products and show you what I was creating. I was actually super busy entire week, just stamping away and creating, just going to my room and then looking what's to do, and then it's like 5 o'clock. I'm like, what did I do all day? I don't know how I used to work. So it was just fun time. If any of you ladies could maybe share the video on fun stampers on our group, if it's possible. On other groups, I know I'm just getting text from some ladies that they could not find in which page I was actually doing it. So I'll promise I will come up with event next time, so it will be easier to find me. So let me point you guys down and I will show you what we're gonna be making today. Just don't get dizzy. I'll just switch the camera. It's my fancy contraption. Hope it's working. All right. So hope you see my screen just fine. Just a couple minutes when it's... So what we're gonna do today, so new catalog went live last week, and what was super exciting, there were some products that I basically wanted to order. So my first choice was, of course, flowers. So I really like that Peony Suite. Everything about that suite, kind of soft and 3D and flowers. Just you cannot really... it just hit all my points, what I absolutely love. So I actually didn't play much with a stamp set yet. A distinctive stamp set, I stamped just one image, and probably will be fun for coloring, but I didn't do much quite yet. So what we're gonna do today, we're gonna actually learn how to create this flower. So this flower seems complicated, and I came across the video, really quick 2-3 minutes video, and I just could not stop creating. And we're also gonna use some of the gorgeous paper that comes. I like how simple it is, and I just kind of only couple colors. So I'll show you a sample that I created kind of for reference. Just all the kind of patterns in this paper. So it's petal pink, basic gray, and a gray granite. So this is the colors. So I started to play with those little flowers, and I tried to do them in different colors and do a sponging and not sponging. So I'll show you like my basket, and I was thinking, oh, I need to create one, one for my girl Sherry. She will love pink. They don't have leaves yet, but just kind of, I was just cutting and creating. And then I was thinking, how about my friend Sherry or Stephanie? She will like any of the purples. So I did one Posy and Sponge It, and I did one in this Highlander Heather. So I'm telling you, I was just on a roll. Look at those flowers. And this is just my spares. So I like probably like light pink or petal pink the most, and I'll show you the color one. And this is a new Magenta Madness. I really like that color. It's super fun, super bold, but like nobody in my family, they say, oh, it's just too red or too pinkish, so people not really like that. I'll show you those one on a card, and literally those one is probably created maybe within an hour or so. It just was so easy to create, and I will show you. So some of the cards that this was a full case from a catalog. It just petal pink. I didn't sponge it, I didn't do anything to the cardstock. I just kind of lightly bend it and used designer paper. I wanted to use this Just Jade cardstock as well. So this is a card, this is another card. This is just white and sponged with petal pink, that you could just put something inside. So I was just making simple cards and attaching those flowers. The other one is this one. Again, everybody in my family say just too bright, they just only see the red, but this made me really happy. This is that new Magenta Madness one. And the card that we're gonna do today, not exactly the card, I'll just show you and then we could concentrate on this a little bit later. So this is the card that we're gonna do today. So, and it's fun fold. I know I'm a big fan of fun folds. I like card with little twist. So it's just the card, and you could use it for gift card or tag little something. So we're gonna do that probably in different colors. So let me show you that bundle and kind of how to make those flowers. It's really quick to make. So this is the actual bundles, bunch of little pieces, some of them cutting flowers from a stamp set, bunch of leaves, so some of them actually cutting those images and leaves and stuff. And for the peony itself, there is just 4 dies that you will need to use just for actual flowers. And we'll use, I'll show you how to use those. And as an absolutely favorite of mine, remember my last video, I use those edgelets. I like when card has little something. So this is that edgelet, and this one is even much easier because there is no intricate pieces, so it's kind of cut and emboss. Like 3/4 strip of paper that you have leftovers fit perfectly. This is probably will be my favorite, and I'll probably pre-cut heck out of white ones to use on other cards. So let me show you. I was debating which color we should create, but then I was thinking, I actually use those petal pink on every, all of them. I make 3, I use all of them. So let's just create petal pink. So we're not gonna cut for the purpose of the video, but this is, you could run it through one run of Big Shot, right? All those. And it seems like, okay, how are we gonna do it? It seems complicated, right? But when you actually look at it, everything is aligning perfectly. So when you're gonna glue, you don't really need to think how to do it and what to do it. So so it's pretty much you assembling, you just kind of sliding them. What I like to do, let's say, if you decide to sponge, what you probably wanted to do, I encourage you to sponge first and sponge it kind of all around and around those cuts. But also sponge it on the back as well, and you will see why. I'm not gonna do it right now, but basically you just take a sponge and you just go over the edges and over those creases, turn around and sponge if you want that extra color. But then that's pretty much it. You could start creating. So you take that smallest piece and you insert into the openings from a second piece, and you're sliding to align it. And what I like to do, I just like to put a little bit of wet glue just to the bottom and align it. And then you do the same with the second one, and exactly the same. You see how they align? So that piece is slightly bigger, but that line is the same, so it's so easy to align and make it. And then you take a big piece and you do exactly the same. So you saw me probably, not even 1 minute to just gluing them. It's just so fast. Then you will cut center. I did from a black paper. I think I like black the most. I try yellow. And you're gonna insert that one on kind of on the smallest one. And this is your flower. And from there, if you like it flat, it could be flat, or you could start basically curling. What I did with other ones, I actually did little curl before I was assembling, kind of give it a little bit kind of softness. But then you kind of play with layers. And it's a little bit easier when you do, but you know, you're just kind of opening it. If you like more dimensions, you could after that go and maybe insert dimensionals kind of on the layers. But I think they have a lot of depths, so you not necessarily need to do it. So this is our flower. So really you cut 4, you align them, and then you stick your center. Here you see how many I cut it. I was just, as I already have my big shots out and everything, I was just cutting heck out of it. And then leaves, I cut 2 leaves. So it was 2 different shapes, like this one and this one. So really I cut 3 of random one, 2 the same and 2 different ones. So for today's video, for the card, I wanna use just J. So we're gonna use those one. And like I was saying, I really wanted to use this flower, I don't know, to have a different card. So this is what we're creating today. So we're creating this fun fold card with a little belly. It's perfectly slide. I think I actually did this card in one of our wine shops, and I just recreated. So what is cool about this card, and it has this little pocket, it's still 1 sheet of a paper. The card is actually slightly smaller. Let me turn around my mat. Thinking, why is everything upside down? If you're gonna measure. So card is still your regular 4 1/4 by 11. So you could make 2 of them from 1 piece of cardstock. So what we will need to have our cardstock at 4 1/2 and 11. So what I'm gonna do, I'm gonna be daring with the colors. That's a bright one, but I'm gonna go for it. So we're gonna use this one, and you're gonna score it at 4 inches and then at 9 1/4. So this is 4 inches, will be 5 1/4. So card is slightly smaller, so it's not your 5 1/2, but pretty close. And here is your little pocket. So it folds basically. Oh, I know what I forgot. I forgot my sticky strip. So this is a card. So whisper white pieces. We will choose the same pieces, kind of will be easier to assemble. So it's 4 by 3/4. So it's not quite a square. So it's gonna fit here, and then something for your greeting. For belly band, I'm trying to minimize my crazy colors. So we're gonna use 10 inches is enough, 10 by 1 1/2. And you could score it. I did score them like a 2 1/2, and then almost, what is this one? Then write it down. But it's not always works the best when you score. So you do 2 1/2 and then 6 7/8. So slightly, not quite 7. So basically 1/8 of the inch wider than a card. And then you will use your designer paper. It's just 1 inch by 10 to actually match the piece. So you need that, and then you'll need small strip of designer paper. measuring 1.5 by 4. So we're not using ton of the designer paper. So there's 2 I chose. So I'm most likely gonna use this one. I really like that gray one. And because we're also using the gray band, we're gonna use this one. So now it's basically time to start assembling. So what we're gonna do, we're gonna adhere that little piece and I recommend probably sticky strip for the band, but it should do for now. And then one of the pieces, unless you wanted to stamp a greeting inside, one of the pieces, go ahead and adhere it to the inside of the card front. So the Peony bundle, it's actually Stampin' UP running a promotion right now. If you would like to join a Stampin' UP, you could pick any bundle for free and add it to your starter kit. So it's it's one of the kind of pricier bundles, I believe. It's like $54, I think, for dies and stamp set. But again, it has a lot of little pieces and stamp is gorgeous. And here I used to do sticky strip, but you could do wet glue. You basically make a pocket. So here you have it. And then your belly band, adhere your designer paper. So I think 9.5 is probably the smallest one that you could go with the length of the belly band. So you have some overlap, but I recommend 10 inches. And when I was saying that you not necessarily need to pre-score, so you could basically, put it like this and then take your bone folder and kind of draw a line, right? Then you could score it. And then, because it's such a small piece, and then you turn around and kind of draw a line here. So this way you don't really necessarily need to pre-measure. When you're gonna glue it, you just make sure that you have enough kind of room to move. Again, I didn't bring my tape, so see if I could glue and it's gonna stay till we're gonna work on our greeting. If not, I will need to redo it after the video. I'll put ink pad on top of it. So pretty much our card is done. Now we will need to stamp a sentiment on this piece, and I like to use like big sentiments, so it's kind of covering everything. And for this one I picked So Sentimental. It has nice and big sentiments. Because it's gift card, I think I will use I Can't Thank You Enough, so it should be nice. And then I will need to decide which ink I want. Do I want it to do Magenta Madness, or it will be just too much? I think because I don't have much of the green, or Just Jade, it's a new color, let me do it just with that Just Jade color. And you wanted to stamp it towards the top as our gift card, or our belly band for the gift card, right? Its flower is quite big. Ta-da! Then we're gonna glue it to the card front, add a belly band, and we're done. So see what I'm saying? Let's say if you decided to use those flowers or some other flowers, you basically could pre-made those flowers, and just the actual card coming so fast. I absolutely love cards that you could mass produce. I actually, if I spend so much time creating one card, then I don't want to send it away, right? It's like, oh my gosh, it just took me all day. So I always like to figure it out. If I do one, it might could be a little bit too tough. It's gonna get a little. All right. So now we're just gonna add our flower. And belly band you could position, you know, anywhere. It just to have your card shut. So remember, it's not, your card is not quiet. The top piece is not quite 5 1/4, right? That's why you kind of wanted to keep it shut. So you'll go ahead and add it with dimensionals. Let me just add those two here. And then we're gonna do leaves. And I like to bend them. There is additional layer. If you look in here, you could cut like from additional color and glue it to give little bit of depth. But again, I'm all about simplicity. If I want to complicate it, I probably will do it. But those one, I think they're already pretty enough. Now there's just choices where to put the leaves. So let's just put one here. So the card, if we decided to mail it, it still goes. And one here. So I wonder if any of you actually got that set, or at least on wish list. I could not believe what the genius come up with this flower. It's just so easy. And the same with the big shot. You know, I like my Cricut, so I cut stuff on my Cricut as well. But I was yesterday actually was a little frustrated cutting some paper, and I could not make it cut through the paper. So, but this one was just so easy, and coordinating the stuff. So we are done with the card. So the only thing we could add a bling. So the same for the flower. You could, you know, if you want to extra something, I mean, we all like little shimmer. You could just probably color. Give a little something, and I will add some gems, some bling, and our card is done. This card doesn't require ribbon or anything like that, and you could probably add it if you have an idea where to add. There's also those ones coming with the Peony Suite. It's called Elegant Faceted Gems. I think you'll hear my dog. I think my UPS, yeah. Guess what he brought me? Some of my Stampin' UP stuff. So she will bark a couple minutes, and I have nobody to get her. As you always will hear about her. So what do you think about cards? Which one you like the best? I still think the lighter one I really like that. It's just so soft. So this color is Granny Apple Green. I love this combination. So as you could see, it's exactly the same, slightly different designer paper from the same pack. So here we have it. So I hope you like it. Please let me know what you think. Please leave some comments. If you would like to share my video in your groups and think somebody will be interested to create this fold, please do. I appreciate it. So my goal is to come every Friday. So I hope to see you next Friday. I will maybe ask some of my friends if 11 or 12 is better. It doesn't matter for me, but maybe 12 o'clock if people actually doing some break. They it's easier for them to watch. So here is my Peony Suite. So if you like it, let me know. Thank you for hanging out with me, and until next time. Bye!